great. I want to thank you all for making it to another meeting of the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association. We're back here at Fest Parker. Once again, I mean, you are probably right about there someplace, okay? That's where we are. We've got this nice little patio out there, so if you want to walk outside on a break and kind of enjoy what's going on, I think there's a wedding or something happening out there. So really busy out there today. I don't know, there's a triathlon and some other stuff going on, so it's pretty busy. In fact, if you drove and you're in the parking lot, did we ever get a validation machine put in?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Did it require tickets?
Just go.
Yeah, you should come in, you get a ticket, and then you validate it in
It
here.
was open.
Was it
Bar was
open?
open.
It was open.
Open.
Good, and it probably will stay open, because when they get that busy, it usually stays open. What you don't want to get is caught when you leave and it's
That's right.
closed, you don't have a ticket. What is it, Michael? Like,
Oh, it was like 20, 25 bucks or something. I was like, oh no.
don't want to go there. So, thank you for making it. We had our big meeting last month, which was literally August, Realty 411, and that was from 9 to 5. Lots of good speakers, lots of good interviews. I've got most of it up on YouTube. Actually, the last 4 or 5 speakers, it's up there, but I haven't actually published it yet because I just haven't had the time. But we video everything, and it all gets up there. So the nice thing is, you can go back and look at this stuff, and sometimes I look at it 3 or 4 times and finally go, oh, I finally got it. I was there, I didn't get it. I had to watch it 3 times, and I didn't get it. But I finally got what they were saying. So there's real value there. This short version, long version, big watch. This is the YouTube channel that we have. All the videos go up there, and you can see we've got a lot of different things going. In fact, we've got a Chevy Volt thing up there that we have. Got rid of our Leaf and got a Chevy Volt. Why we would go from all electric to combination is a lot of people interested in that, a lot of kids like that. So there's a number of things that we do. Meetup.com is a great place for you to sign up for these meetings. You don't have to sign up there. You can go to our main website, which was just up there. The nice thing about Meetup.com is that people get to know who you are, and they go, oh, well, let's see, James, he does wholesaling here in Santa Barbara, and I need to know him because maybe I could help him. Maybe he could pay me for helping him. So, you know, you want to network with each other while you're here to make those connections and see if you can make that happen. Because I suspect, James, you probably do wholesaling, don't you?
When I can.
When you can. So this would be a good person to know here. Okay. So yeah, that's free for you. We've got the break area here. We're still doing that. We just about lost it all, but they said you'll pay as much for the room if you get rid of the trees, so you might as well hang under the trees. So we said, okay, we'll hang in there with that. I'll be up here until about 2, and Linda Pliagas isn't here. She's probably out in Texas or someplace. You have any idea, Michael, where she might be at?
I'm not sure, but she's definitely on the move.
Yep, she's got
Working
big
it.
things going, different states and cities all the time. I'll cover the free training, Lease-To-Own, some interesting stuff here. And then when I'm through, we're going to have Kevin Sharp from Pintar, and he is here with us right now. Thank you, Kevin, for making it here. I appreciate you coming up and doing this. You know, it was tricky for me to get them up here because what I did was I took one of our cash buyers lists from Kent Collier. It's about $1,000 or whatever it is, $9 a month for it. And you go through and look at these lists of vacant homes and people who buy properties and fix and flip and all that. So I thought, well, you know, we've tried to find these people, but let's quit looking for the people and go look for some speakers and some people that we might be able to do business with. Always possibilities. So I did a sort of the list and said, show me the ones who were doing the biggest business in California. And Pintar was at the top of the list. And I went, oh my God, they're doing millions of dollars worth of real estate. Buying, selling, rehabbing, he'll give you the whole story. But I saw that and I said, I wonder if we could wholesale to them. And they said, well, you know, I don't know. If you find us a good enough deal, you might be able to. So there's a possibility there. But that's, after a few months of begging and pleading, I managed to get them here. So thank you, Kevin, for showing up. That's great. And of course, we got a free table back there. There's anything on that table back there. There's some real estate wholesaling information. You can just take the books home and keep them. Anything on that table is free. Michael says, don't leave your
keys or wallet or cell phone or
Cell
anything
phone
else there.
on the
It's
table?
the take
It's gonna
table.
be
So
gone.
yeah.
So there is a free table back there, and if you ever want to get rid of stuff, come and bring it and throw it on the free table for somebody else.
Who put that Armando Montalado stuff there?
Me. And you can guess why I'm getting rid of it. He goes, oh yeah, I can see that.
I can see that.
I can see that. So I'm not saying to go run and sign up for those people, but I am saying to read the information, if you can glean anything out of it that helps you personally, then great, it was free, okay? My whole thing is, you should be investing or doing whatever you do here as though you're broke. And if you're not broke, or if you become wealthy, keep investing like you're broke, and just keep, telling people, I don't have money, I want to use your money, but I'll bring you a good return, so that you come back and want to do business with me. Okay? So every time we help you, if you're trying to get something, even computer support help or whatever, we'll say, oh, no, don't buy that, that's way too expensive. That's kind of why we're here, is to help guide you along and save you, protect you, make sure you're making investments that is worth it to you. Okay? So, let's, free training, okay, so anytime you come to the meetings, it's free for the first time you've been here. After that, it's $10 online in advance, $20 cash at the door. But we can get you in here free all the time. All you have to do is find a friend that's never been here, bring them with you, just one. You get in free, they get in free. You both get 30 days of free training. Anytime you want to call me up during that 30 days, I'm there to answer questions. And after that, just come in the next meeting. Anytime you come to a meeting, bring a friend in. Whether you bring a friend or not, if you pay, of course, you get 30 days free too. So anytime you show up at a meeting, I'm here to answer questions. Just give me a call. And I'm surprised at how many people don't. I don't know why. It's free. I will be. But that's what I'm here for. So let's talk a little bit about this lease-to-own stuff. So what it's going to look like and sound like. See, we've actually got two businesses that we do. I mean, the real estate club here is fun. It's really my only social outlet in life at this point. And I love it, and that's why I do it. Okay, so it's not really to make money off of meetings, but of course we can all make money off of the connections and the knowledge that we learn, and that's really why we're here. But on the outside, my business is National Home Buyers LLC, and recently started a second entity called National Home Buyers Investors Group. This rentals is a investment business with investment income, so your tax man's going to look at that, a woman, and say, oh, that's investment income. Okay. This, NH Big Inc., is a earned income business, so your tax person's going to look at that and go, oh, that's different. That's earned income, this is investment income. Okay. So you'll be taxed differently on that, and there are reasons for knowing why you want to be aware of that as you move forward. Okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit about bandit signs and business signs. Anybody in here know what a bandit sign is? You want to tell me?
Little signs you see typically up on the telephone poles, says you buy houses for cash.
Exactly. And why do you think they call them a bandit sign?
Not legal in San Juan.
There you go. Exactly. And if they see that sign there, what would they normally do? And they might even fine you. And a lot of investors say, well, you know, that's the price of doing business. I don't care if they fine me. I'll pay the fine. And what we're going to find out here is, I decided if we're going to do this business of lease-to-own, of earned income, I know from experience that those signs are the most effective way to generate business. A lot of other ways, cards, mailers, whatever, but the signs are number one. So if we're going to do that, we need to figure out, well, how do we change it from bandit signs to business signs? So we'll talk about that. Okay. And free trading, we kind of covered that. This is the website in Santa Barbara SBREIA. All these links have lots of information there. So, you want to spend some time there and work your way back to the videos so you can kind of get a sense of what you want to do in real estate. There's so many ways to make money in real estate. You really kind of have to find your passion. But if you get really passionate about something, you better look for who's actually successful and figure out their lifestyle, because it will gear your lifestyle. Maybe you like to travel and you pick something that's going to demand you travel a lot. That would be good for you. But if you hate traveling, that would not be so good for you. And sitting at a desk I do a lot of sitting at a desk. That's not good for you either. It's probably the worst health thing you could possibly do. So you got to be careful about sitting at the desk too long too. Okay? So you want to look at your passion. You want to look and see, well, what kind of lifestyle would I live if I did that? Free training, we talked about that. Santa Barbara Computing Services, I did that, worked for the university for 26 years, and a student of mine and I actually created UCSB.edu, the main campus website. That was lots of fun. When people said, but you're nothing, you're this little nothing, and this is a big computer center, why aren't they doing it? And I said, well, maybe we're something, I don't know. We had fun, okay? Personal Power Project, this is another one of my businesses, and thing that we do, and it has to do with going green, solar, cars, wind, even some stuff on health in there. Imagine your hair might be your GPS to your health. Or if you look at the website and look under health products, there's actually hair tests they can do to determine, well, what kind of food you should be eating. Okay, so there's a lot of good stuff in there on that. So let's talk about these two businesses. National Home Buyers LLC, lease-to-own rental properties. For 30 years, we've done rental properties. And my wife, Maria, God bless her, has said, Dan, this is just like too much work, it's too much expense, it's just too much. Isn't there something else we can do? It took me years to finally listen to some of the people that came here and speak to us to finally go, I missed that for how many years? 10 years? 20 years? Okay. So what it's going to look like to you today is that Dan does nothing but lease to own. I don't want to do lease to own. I want to do probate, or I want to do subject to, or whatever. The odd thing that I found out, especially here, not there, earned income, is that this, if you start off as a lease to own, ends up opening up the door to everything else. Wholesale, subject to, whatever. If you can't do a lease to own, which is the easiest thing in the world to do, because you're giving everybody what they want, then it might have to be something else. And people are going to have to give up a little something, like a wholesale deal where only investors can buy it cash, but you got to have the ability to accept less for your property because you're not going to pay top dollar for something that needs a lot of work, right? So that's why this works, and that's why we're doing lease to own up here. Joint venture partners, tenant's responsibility is all the repairs. Well, imagine I'm doing a 50-50 split with an investor, and they're paying for the house, they're paying for the taxes, they're paying for the insurance, they're paying for all the repairs, and I'm not paying for nothing. And you go, well, who the heck would do that? A lot of people. They'll do it all day long. And that's how you can do that business with no money out of your pocket. But you have to do all the work. So you either invest your time or you invest your money. And you can go real broke, or you can go broke real quick if you're not doing it properly. And you can upset some investors that'll go, I will never give you another dime of my money because I didn't make anything. So it's a tricky game, especially if you're doing it nationwide and you're dealing with a lot of problems. Okay, so she's still with me, I don't know why. But, so what I discovered recently is, hey, you know what? If we give that responsibility of repairs to the tenants, then the investor doesn't have to do all the repairs. They might just have to clean it up a little bit to get in there, but from that point on, the tenants who are normally saying, can I have, can I have, can I have, can I have, and really, in life, that's what you should be saying. Don't ask, don't get. Just keep asking. That doesn't mean you're going to get it, but if you don't ask, guess what? You definitely are not going to get it. So you got to ask. They're doing the repairs, but the investor is still responsible for the taxes and insurance. Anybody kind of guess why we would leave the investor responsible for taxes and insurance?
Make sure.
Exactly. Doesn't get paid, he burns down, or the city comes in and repossesses it because the taxes aren't paid. That would be bad. So, and the other reason is there's too much financial responsibility for the tenants. There's only so much you can pile on them. Our game in this whole thing is to try to get those tenants to the point where they can pay half as much to own it than rent. Because Because if it's not win-win, and if the tenants aren't as important as the investor, why are we doing it? Now, a lot of people do it for other reasons, but I'm not going there, okay? That's why I do it like this. Need money? Well, yeah, if you're an investor, you're gonna need money to be able to do those kind of deals. With somebody like me, or somebody like you, if you choose that as a business. They will need money. And actually, Maria sitting there going, yeah, we still need money, even if we do lease-to-own, because there's gonna be times when investors say that they got money and they run out, and they have problems, and we either have to go get money from somebody else at 10%, or we use our own money. So, you know, there's still gonna be money in there you're gonna need. But a lot less on lease-to-own, much less. And in fact, here's what I discovered. If you take a tenant and try to convert them to lease-to-own after they're already renting, anybody want to guess on what the percentage is of success?
Not very high.
Not very high. Very low. In fact, Section 8 tenants can have their mortgage payment paid if they want to buy it, and they can get financed through NACA, NAC.com, NACA. NACA will get them qualified, even if they got bad credit, and they can take the qualification back to Section 8 and say, hey, look, I want to buy this house and I want you, Section 8, to make my mortgage payment. Does anybody in here know if that happens all day long? Or it can happen?
It does.
It does? Okay. Now, oddly enough, even though it does and it can, it's all set up to work like that. And you go, well, why would Section 8 make somebody's mortgage payment? Well, think about it. Section 8, do you want to make an $800 rental payment? Or Section 8, do you want to make a $400 mortgage payment and not be obligated for either one of them if you don't need to be, because you're not? What are they going to choose? They're going to choose 400. That's a lot better than 8, right? And if they're not obligated to make it, sure, they'll do that. But guess what? Try and talk a Section 8 person into buying their house. They're like, oh, I'm not going there. That's too scary for me. Well, it's the same thing with tenants that don't come into the property with the thought of buying it. So to take a tenant and convert them, good luck. Just not going to happen. And that's why we tried for years. My whole thing was to get them to that point. I never could. And we had speakers come in here, and they educated me, and that's why I do these things, is because we're getting education. Every time these speakers come in here, we get educated. We don't have to drive to LA to do it. And one of the guys that says, we do lease-to-own all day long, Dan, we've been doing it for years, and we're very successful. But hear me, you cannot convert an existing tenant to lease-to-own. You have to go find them from the get-go. And if you find them from the get-go and not try to convert them, you can find them all day long. So I started doing that about 6 months ago, and lo and behold, guess what? They're not that difficult to find. And you know what the biggest stumbling block was? I don't have the full deposit. What's a deposit? I usually make it about 3% of the sales price. Okay, so it could be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, depending on the price of the property. Get it to $500,000, you're talking about a much bigger deposit. All of them say, well, I don't have that full deposit. So I said, well, okay, our investor, and it's great to have an investor because you can blame everything on the investor. You get to be the good guy. You actually have to be, because you need to develop some kind of relationship with people that have them even want to talk to you. Our investor will do a partial deposit. How much can you come up with? Well, let's see, the full deposit's $3,000 in this property, yeah. I can probably come up with $2,000. Our investor would accept that. I could come up with $1,500. Our investor would accept that. I can't even come up with a deposit. I can barely come up with the rent. Can you work with me on it? Our investor's not going to do that. No way. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. So you let people know, the more deposit you come up with, the better it is for 2 reasons. Number one, you're more likely going to get picked by our investor to come into this house. But 2, if you pay less on your deposit, you're going to have to pay your rent plus the remainder of that deposit over a 10-month period. So if the remainder is $2,000, how much is that in 10 months every month? $200. So your rent is $750 plus you got to pay $200. Now if you pay more of that deposit, you're going to have to pay less. It won't be as hard. So that helps people understand. And most of them do. They go, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'd much rather pay more up front because I don't want to have to worry each month about paying the rent and $200 deposit. Well, if the deposit is non-refundable, guess what happens if they fail? It's non-refundable. Don't get it. They lost it. So what's the likelihood that they're going to try harder and do better to make this a success for them and that they actually buy the house? Okay? So now our investors aren't responsible for repairs because it said right in the contract, if you take this house, you're responsible for all repairs. And we try to get the houses fixed up before they move in, so there's nothing major. There might be minor things, but they're not knocking at your door constantly asking for more. Okay, so that's the whole rental side of the business. Now we have, and that's investment income. Let's talk a little bit about earned income. And see, the nice thing about earned income, sure you got to pay taxes, but you know, if you made $10 million and you had to give up $3 million or whatever, would it matter really? I'd give up $3 million to get 10. So, you know, sure, you're going to pay some tax money here, but there's ways to deal with it if you get the right entities and do it the right way. And we chose a C Corp to deal with this for a number of reasons. One, we wanted to lease an all-electric car and have it written off 100% without having to track mileage. I just said, hey, I do not want to give up more of my accounting time to the government. I just want you to, you know, once a year, this is how much you pay for your lease, take it off my taxes. So, small reason, but that was one of the reasons. Here, we're doing properties from 100,000 to maybe 10 million. Here, we're doing 30 to 100,000. You cannot do $5,000 properties and think that you're going to have something that people are going to want to buy eventually. So you want to get up closer to 50, 60, 100,000. But you're not going to get investors to come up with, you know, $200,000 cash and split that with you probably. It's pretty unlikely. And you're losing your percent of return as you move up to higher numbers. So here what we're doing is we're just matching up buyers and sellers. Now, you don't need any money, okay? So when you think about wholesaling, most of us in here kind of confuse wholesaling and fix and flip. Okay, when we start talking about fix and flip and wholesaling, a lot of times people think it's the same thing. Fix and flip, you buy the property and then you fix it up. The moment you buy that property, you are not in the realm of earned income. You bought the property, it's yours. Any kind of income you make is investment income. It's not in this category, okay? Wholesaling, you just match up buyers and sellers. You never buy it. That's all you do. And if you're matching up buyers and sellers, you never buy it, and you make some money, like a realtor would. Ask Brett, he knows all day long how that goes. That's earned income, right? Okay, that's earned income. That's okay. But is there a way to do wholesaling through lease-to-own? There absolutely is. And Brett's been pounding me for months saying, Dad, it's illegal, you can't do it. I'm not in jail yet. I'm not heading to do something illegal. God, hope I get the right lawyers and this all works out. I'm working with Anderson Advisors in Las Vegas, and I had them out here a couple of months ago, specifically to talk about wholesaling, because I said, well, how do you do wholesaling in California? You know, if you match up buyers and sellers in California and do a wholesale deal, and I'm not talking lease-to-own, because I didn't even talk about that. I'm talking about strictly a wholesale deal, and you don't do it right, and it looks and smells like a commission, what happens to you, Brett, if you're not a realtor or broker?
It's not good.
It's not good. You probably won't like the company where you end up.
No, probably not.
And you won't like the place where you end up. Okay? And although I've done it in a way that you shouldn't, years in the past, I made $50 or $50,000 on one wholesale deal, people will tell you all day long, well, Dan, what are you worried about? I never had a problem. Well, that's because nobody's ever looked at you. If the IRS or the feds or whoever, the state government looks at you and sees what you're doing, and it's not done how it's supposed to be done, you might be in big trouble. So I say, come and talk to us about wholesaling in California, Anderson Advisors, and tell us, how do you do that legally if you're an investor and you're not a real estate broker or agent? And they came and spoke, and it was Coons, Rick Coons, thank you. And as he stood here and said, yeah, this is how we do it, and the way we get around that problem is we do trusts. We do trust agreements, and we assign the trust agreement in a way that makes it legal. You don't go to jail, you're buying low, you're selling high through the trust. It's not a commission, it's not a fee, okay? It's a trust agreement. It's a capital gain. Pay taxes on it because it's earned income. We do it through a trust. And I said, great, that's a wonderful story. I love that story. Now I want to ask you the question why I really wanted you to come here and talk about this. Yes?
So who sets up the trust?
I got a trust document from Anderson for about $1,000. It's 13 pages long. And who sets it up? Well, the contract sets it up, but you better make sure you're working with an attorney that looks at the contract and says, I'm an attorney in California. I've seen this before. I know Anderson, or I know somebody else like them. And yeah, this is legal, and if we end up having to go to court for any reason, I'll be representing you. If you don't have that in place, and you do something wrong, and you end up in court with no attorney representing you, again, you could be in big trouble because the judge is going to say ignorance is no excuse for the law. Okay? So yeah, sure you won't need any money, like $100,000 or $10 million to do these deals, but you will need some money in infrastructure to make sure you've got the right people on your team lined up in case you run into problems. And you need to have them educate you as you go along before you even get there. Make sure you're doing the right thing. So when he said that's how you do a wholesale in California with a trust, and that's how we do it, that's how we do it legally, I said, now tell me, can you use that same trust agreement to do a wholesale, to do a lease-to-own wholesale? And he went, yeah, we've done that. And I said, you can do it? Yeah. Can I get your company and you give me the contract and you can help me through the process and make sure it's all, yeah, it's all on video, it's all up on YouTube. It's there. So that's where we are finally. It's taken us months to get to NH Big. It's taken us months to get the lease-to-own over there. Okay? I need to move on really quick. This is, because we're almost at 2. This is the National Home Buyer website. We do the wholesale rentals, one-term lease. Okay? This is at $20,000 and the return on investment, but we're not going to do any more $20,000 home. $20,000 homes is too low in bad neighborhoods, so it's got to be more. This is NH Big website where we do the earned income wholesale, lease-to-own wholesale, and these are all the things that you get, for working with us on our team to do this business. So you can go to the website, you can look at all this and see what I get. Bandit signs. Okay, we've got just a couple minutes real quick to talk about bandit signs. How do we turn our illegal things that are on the telephone poles into something legal? Anybody in here own their own home? Could you put in front of your house a sign that looked like this with your phone number on there, not mine, and it said, by owner, lease-to-own, required deposit and credit repair? You're not providing credit repair, you just require that they get it. They need to come up with a deposit that's got your phone number. They call up and they go, James, I drove through your neighborhood and that's a nice looking house, a nice neighborhood, and I really would love to lease to own that home. That's why I saw your number and I called you up. And James says, yeah, well that's good that you saw my business sign. This house really isn't the one that's leased to own, but we've got plenty that are, and if we don't have the home that you want, we will find it absolutely for you. See what just happened? Is it illegal? I don't think so. If I was a realtor, would I do that? I don't think so. I don't know.
No.
What do you think?
No.
No. I would not do that if I was a realtor. So if you're a realtor, I would not stick that in my front yard, because you could lose your license. But if you're a wholesaler or a contractor, I don't think it's illegal. I don't think it's a problem. And most people, when they heard that on the phone, they said, oh, it's not this one, but you got plenty, and if I don't like what you got, you'll find me one that'll work? Yeah, absolutely. That's our business. That's what we do. That's my business sign. $30. Signs are us. We got places to get the signs, okay? Now, that's generating buyers coming to you. While you're waiting for your buyers, this could be people who are new to real estate or people who are retired. You just want a part-time job now and then? While you're waiting for people to see your sign and come to you, guess what else you're doing? You're on the phone on Craigslist. I just saw that house that you have for sale by owner. Well, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Would you consider a lease-to-own? No? Okay. Thanks. Oh, you would consider a lease-to-own? Can I call you back? When? We call back, we talk about, we have a discussion. Okay? I just saw your for rent by owner. It's a beautiful place. Would you consider a lease-to-own? No? Oh, you would? Okay. So you're getting the buyers and the sellers now. From home, in your own spare time. Put your sign up if you want to, take it down if you don't. Bandit signs and business signs. No more illegal. You can put out wherever you want. Okay? You can even put door hangers on people's doors in high traffic areas. Would you like to have a part-time business? We're not going to deal with the city with illegal signs. And I wouldn't do it if I was really. It's just too much on the line. It's kind of a gray. I mean, if you call somebody and they told you that, you'd be kind of like, oh, okay. But at the same time, you go, well, okay, so what have you got? If you don't have what I want, can you find it? You'll do the work. You'll figure it out somehow? Great. How do you figure it out? Don't worry, that's our job. That's when you're back on the phone and start calling up for sale by owner or rent by owner and see if you start matching this stuff up. That's pretty easy. Okay. That's it. 202. I'm done. Thank you. So we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to have, wait a minute, let me see something here. Was it, well, it is Victor, okay. Let me just make sure we're on schedule here. Yeah, okay. So we're going to take a little break, and if you're wondering, does it work? Well, you know, here's one last picture of Victor's, one of our members here. He's got his $5,000 check for one of the places he flipped. So, you know, you can make a lot more than that. I've made $50,000, and that's when I quit the university and said, man, I'm going to go do this full time. I'm stupid to be at the university. I'm going to go broke if I keep doing this, you know, working for them. So I went out, you know, I made that $50,000. As soon as I made it, I left the university. I retired as quick as I could. I called up, and Maria says, what? And I said, well, you know, I just got out of HR about retirement and me getting out of here. And she goes, well, don't you think we ought to talk about it? And I said, I thought we were. It's too late. I already put my wife, I signed the paperwork. I'm out of here. She's like, oh, God, I married this guy. Any case, you know, it takes effort. It takes work. And it takes dedication. Okay? So we're going to take a little break. And, you know, when we get back, then we're going to have Kevin Sharp from Pentar up here. He's going to give us a good rundown of what he does. So,